Native Americans have endured long before Western explorers discovered the New World. Prehistory has been recorded in caves and on rocks by Indians themselves. At one time, there was a vast population of Indians. Many historians believe in the high millions, somewhere in the 30 to 40 range. While close to extinction, Native Americans have endured through three monumental eras: the 400-year removal period, which was from 1492 to 1890, the assimilation period, which was from 1890 to 1933, and their current sovereignty period, which was from 1933 to the present. Spain discovers the New World back in 1492 when Christopher Columbus set foot in the Bahamas. Eventually they made their way to the current United States, back then which was called America. Spain was mainly interested in gold, silver, and sugarcane and shipping these products back to Spain to enrich their lives there. The Spaniards weren't really interested in land grabbing. However, other European countries soon followed suit. England, France, and Holland also wanted to expand. However, they were more interested in helping out their current farmers back in Europe and more interested in the land grabbing. When the colonies started to establish themselves here in the United States, they brought with them many European germs, and smallpox being the most devastating one to the Indians. They also brought with them animals such as pigs and horses, and plants as well. This was known as the virgin soil epidemic. Many of these things that the Europeans brought were not here before they arrived. Intentionally and unintentionally, the Europeans killed off millions of Indians. Some historians believe many of the old generals back in the day used smallpox as germ warfare to kill the Indians. They would send in, get a Native American sick, send them back to their tribe, and eventually it would be a plague, and all the natives in that tribe would start getting sick, and many of them died. After the American victory over England, the main goal of the colonies was to expand west and go into the Ohio River Valley and eventually west of the Mississippi all the way out to the Pacific. During the 400-year removal period, it is estimated somewhere between 15 and 20 million Native Americans perished. The assimilation period from 1890 to 93 started with the expansion of the colonies and the establishment of the United States. They wanted to move out west and grab more land. With the Louisiana Purchase, Thomas Jefferson wanted to make sure that he knew what the United States was gaining by this land, so he sent out Lewis and Clark to explore these areas, and which was mainly the Missouri River and out west to the Pacific. The main objective of the U.S. was to acquire all native land between the Appalachians and the Mississippi. In 1824, the Indian Office was established and was mainly ran out of the War Department. This was later to be known as the Bureau of Indian Affairs. During this stage, when the Indian Office was established, reservations were starting to be talked about within the politician circles. The next period, the sovereignty period, was from 1933 to the present. This was the era of Pan-Indianism. This is where the Indian tribes were uniting with each other. Post-Great Depression, the government shifted course on Indian policy. The Commissioner of Indian Affairs at the time was John Collier from 1933 to 1945. He helped establish the All Pueblo Council. This council lobbied successfully in protecting the Pueblos in maintaining their water and land rights. In 1934, he also helped pass the Indian Reorganization Act. This act allowed the Indians to self-govern within the reservations. It also made sure that the federal government trained the Indians on land management, public health, and law enforcement. And from that day forward, no more land allotments of native lands were allowed. The government could not take land from the natives anymore. Lastly, a special court of Indian affairs was to be established. Nowadays, in the sovereignty period, a lot of people, the image that they have of the Native Americans is basically they have a lot of rights to casinos and don't pay taxes. A lot of it's misconstrued by the general public and really needs to be brought to attention. Western civilization devastated the Indian culture to the brink of extinction. The Native American spirit persevered through some of the darkest days their culture has ever seen and will ever see. The fighting spirit of some of the Native American leaders and a few brave U.S. leaders helped link together a content bond that will hopefully lead to a healthy Native American heritage to remain woven into American society.